This guy had been waiting all winter to try the Makita 12-inch snow thrower, and he finally got his hands on it. The snow hadn't been cleared since winter started. It had gone through negative 30-degree temperatures, and in the last few days, it even warmed up above freezing. He's running it on Makita's 40-volt system and pushing it hard through deep snow. It handles the max depth with no problems at all. One thing he paid attention to was the louvers, which let you throw snow left, right, or straight ahead. This one has that. Overall, I'm impressed.
This is why some swimming pools in the United States are still standing after more than 100 years. It all starts with steel before any concrete ever goes in. The floor and all four walls are wrapped in a thick, ultra-dense cage of steel rebar, one continuous structure built to handle the constant pressure of millions of gallons of water year after year without shifting. Then comes the concrete, but it's not poured, it's shot in at extremely high pressure. This process is called shotcrete. The concrete is blasted into every curve, corner, and seam, locking deep into the steel and forming a single solid mass. No gaps, no weak spots. While it's still wet, workers shape the pool by hand. They smooth the walls, form continuous curves, and spread stress evenly to reduce cracking over time. Then comes waterproofing. Not just one coat, multiple thick layers applied slowly, sealing everything tight. Because this isn't just a pool, it's an underground, reinforced concrete structure built to last for generations. And that's why some American pools never fail.
Why don't we build kitchen islands like this in the US? Instead of buying one from a store, this craftsman builds a custom island almost entirely out of drywall. He starts by securing metal tracks to the floor, drilling straight through the wood. Then he builds a tight metal frame, almost like a cage, because it needs to support a heavy countertop and stay solid for years. Next, he covers the frame with moisture-resistant drywall panels, a must in any kitchen to handle humidity. Watch how he cuts the sheets with a simple utility knife, clean cuts right on the stack. Once the shape is finished, he installs the top panel, screwing it directly into the metal frame. And when you compare the price in the end, this method saves a serious amount of money. Inside the island, he adds more rails and shelves, turning the entire structure into extra storage space. Now for the finishing touch, the countertop. He spreads mortar on top and applies adhesive both to the surface and to the large tile slab. These marble effect tiles give the island a clean, modern, high-end look. And check out the final result. Solid, sleek, beautiful. How is it that floors in the US aren't leveled like this? Instead of pouring self-leveling compound, he uses a completely different method. He drives screws every 8 inches straight into the wood subfloor. You'll see why this matters in a second. He uses a green laser level to fine-tune the height of each screw. This makes sure every screw head sits perfectly on the same level plane. Once the grid is set, he sprays the floor with water. This helps improve adhesion and expansion for the spray foam. He applies thick beads of foam along the screw lines. It's not totally clear what it's all for. It could act as glue and maybe even sound insulation. But the most important step comes next. He lays plywood sheets directly on top of the screw heads. The weight is spread evenly across dozens of contact points. He screws the panels down tight for maximum stability. Then he fills the gaps with more foam, always working on a damp surface. But he's not done yet. He sands the seams flush with an angle grinder, leaving a perfectly level surface that will last for years.
How is it that interior walls in the United States are almost never insulated? It's an easy way to lower heating costs and make a space feel more comfortable. This guy frames a wood stud wall really fast, and if you've got the time, you could do the same. All it takes is some 2x4s, which only cost a few dollars at Home Depot or Lowe's. And of course, you'll need drywall too. Just make sure you check your local building codes first. Look closely. He's only hanging drywall on one side. Now comes the most important step, and the one people always argue about: insulation. He carefully fills every cavity between the studs, most likely using rock wool or fiberglass. This is what helps block noise and keeps cold air from passing through. Once the insulation is packed in tight, he closes up the other side of the wall. A lot of people think insulating interior walls doesn't really help with heating, but after cutting the drywall for the doorway, he installs the door securely. He adds a lock for privacy, and just like that, he's reduced noise, saved money, and added a brand new wall.
Have you ever seen a bed built like this in the United States? This guy got tired of shaky, flimsy beds, so he decided to build his own for just a few dollars. Look at what he's using. Galvanized metal studs. They're insanely strong and cost almost nothing, probably around $5 each at Home Depot or Lowe's. It's the exact same method used for drywall framing, just repurposed for a bed. After framing the base, he builds the structure for the upper bed. Then he anchors it directly to the ceiling to make sure it's rock solid. The design and final result are seriously impressive. You almost never see beds built like this in the United States. Instead, we buy flimsy furniture that barely lasts a few years. This bed could easily last generations. He even adds a small staircase, built the same way with metal studs. The entire bed is fully integrated into the room and won't budge at all. Once the structure is complete, he moves on to paint, a clean white with a pop of turquoise on the sides. Finally, he adds 2 cozy mattresses and built-in lighting. This man came up with what felt like a million-dollar idea. After losing his leg to stage 3 bone cancer, he faced a harsh reality. A prosthetic leg can cost over $20,000. For most people, that price means no second chance at walking. But instead of giving up, he asked himself one question: what if I built my own? Using his woodworking skills, he carved a solid block of wood into the shape of a leg. With patience and precision, he shaped it and smoothed every edge. Then he focused on the wooden foot, which required even more care. He adjusted the size and angle so it could properly support his weight. Every surface was sanded smooth, every edge carefully rounded. It had to feel as close as possible to the real thing, because even a small mistake could change the way he walked. To add comfort and flexibility, he installed a bicycle shock absorber, a smart solution that absorbed impact and mimicked natural movement. The total cost, less than $100. He didn't just walk again. He proved that creativity can change lives.